What's going on, guys? We're going to get a little bit of a game plan going on for next week here on the Nasdaq 100. So currently Saturday, April the 12th, and I like to spend my weekends kind of, going over the charts, not only the Nasdaq 100, but a lot of the equities names that I like to trade, Teslas, AMDs, Metas, Apples of the world, and kind of see, now that the week is over, put things into perspective without the market moving and kind of look at some key levels, areas of interest. So what we're looking at here is a 10-day, 30-minute chart, kind of going back those 2 weeks just to kind of see, where was the market really bouncing off of? What levels did we reclaim that are, anything of significance? The one thing that I can point out here that, we kind of did on Friday and even a little bit on Thursday was we reclaimed our daily 5, right? So our daily 5-day moving average is something that I look for short-term bias, short-term sentiment. So if we're trading over our 5-day moving average, typically I'm going to be a little bit more long-sided bias for those intraday trades. And on Friday, we actually reclaimed our daily 10. So with that being said, pretty good for the bulls. Now, one thing that I do want to point out here is you can see this upwards trend here that I drew, this dotted line, and I can actually make a little bit of a channel, a little bit of a flag pattern here if I was to do something like this, where, I add another one of these lines like that. We have a little bit of an upwards channel, but one thing that I do want to kind of point out here is that if this channel fails, okay, so if this channel fails and the NASDAQ 100, kind of loses a little bit of steam, and it was to start to crack below our daily 10 and kind of back test this channel here at around 18,450. Ultimately, if we lose, right, I'm going to do this like this. If we do something like this, right, then we are looking completely to the downside back towards 18,000. Okay, so 18,000 would be that next kind of area of support that you can see we had here Thursday, Friday. And it kind of goes back to the range of Tuesday and Monday's high. Okay, so this whole range here is trying to build as an area of support. Again, if we do come all the way back down here and you don't see any type of significant hold off of this, then we could expect lower prices. But as of right now, the bulls are doing a pretty good job. Again, we're kind of in the middle of a range. Right now, we are in the middle of a range between our daily 10 and our daily 20 SMA. Okay, so if this market wants to continue to push higher, I'm looking for a push into prices of this previous dead cat bounce resistance at around 18,980 to all the way up to 19,000. So from here where we stand, we're looking at about 180 to 220 points worth of potential upside to potentially where we hit the top of this channel. Now, when we hit the top of this channel, I'm going to be very, very cautious about taking longs in this channel because as I would want to see us break through the channel, pull back, okay, hold, and then continue higher into that 19,285, which is your daily 20 SMA. That's ultimately the move that I would be looking for here. A strong move for the bulls. If this market is going to get going, and let's say, for example, these lows, right, these two most recent lows are going to hold, and now we're going to start, pushing to the upside here. Ultimately, my bigger price target is going to be 20,392, which is your daily 250 SMA. Now, these two areas way up here are going to be very, very critical because until we kind of reclaim 20,400 here on the NASDAQ 100, this is nothing more than a dead cat bounce, right? So, although everyone loved this move here and kind of marking these as the lows, we still have a lot of work to do. And until we do that, you have to kind of take things day by day, right? So there's plenty of opportunity right now because of the market volatility and the ranges. I mean, you're getting 100 point, 200 point, 5-minute candles, 100 point, 1-minute candles. So definitely finding areas of opportunity to get in and kind of make a little bit of cash is relatively easy when you are playing smaller size. Like I'm telling a lot of traders right now in my community that, guys, you only really need to play 1 or 2 micros and be on the right side of the move, and you're going to be up $300, $400, $500, $600. In something like that, catching 1 trade a day, ultimately you can just kind of wrap things up and go about your business. So what I'm looking for here on Monday, and let me kind of zoom in just a little bit. I'll just take it back to this most recent swing low to swing high here. What I'm looking for, and I want to take this off because I don't really need it at this second. What I'm really looking for here is if come Sunday market open, right, when we open for Globex and going into London and New York pre-market, if we start to pull back, very, very good. That's what I want to see. I'd like to see us pull back and back test this daily 10 SMA one more time. If not, all the way back to this trend. Okay. And typically when you're going to see moves that are going to explode to the upside intraday New York, typically what you want to see is you want to see a flat to a red open. And if you get that gap down, all the more beautiful, because everyone's going to jump in short and they're going to get trapped, and early shorts are going to get absolute slaughtered. So a couple of levels that we're going to be keying in on here is this high. And again, I could probably mark this out going into Sunday's open. If we kind of take out this level here, right? I should actually make this different, solid. Let's make this line solid. And let's make it red for resistance. If we take this level out here of around 18,877, okay, before the New York opens on Monday, if we kind of take this out here, I would look for this to hold as support, okay? If it doesn't hold as support, let's rewind. If we break open and it doesn't hold as support and it crashes all the way through, look for this area to act as resistance and look for a short opportunity using this consolidation high as a stop to play into this daily 10 and this rising trend. This is going to be more than enough money, more than enough cash here for you to make a one and done trade. It's over 300 points of a move. So that would be something I would be looking for. Now, if let's say we kind of wick above this and then come Monday morning, we're kind of trending downwards where we do have that rejection spot and you kind of missed that entry for the short and we're just kind of trickling down, kind of avoid going short here because you can see each time we're coming into this range here at around 18,300, this market is finding some support and it is bouncing. So if we do get a move like this where we're kind of coming down Sunday and come Monday morning, we have that quick immediate washout. Don't get trapped right in this zone. Actually look for the reclaim of this trend line and the reclaim of that daily 10. And this is where you're going to want to go long back into this most recent swing high. Okay, so back targeting 18,877. Look for that break, retest, consolidation, and then ultimately looking to really test this daily 20 SMA, which is the highs that we put in all the way back here on Wednesday when we had this beautiful pop. So with that being said, we've got a couple of different ideas here. Again, there's a trade idea for if we do gap up come Monday over 18,877, 18,900. If we are trading above those levels, just be a little bit careful going long into this major resistance point here, this zone, the closer we get into this daily 20 SMA. And again, look for the pullback. And if the pullback does not hold, okay, so make this very, very clear. If the pullback does not hold and we overshoot it, and this bounce puts in a lower high, this is going to be your short opportunity to play this back down into this trend line, okay? Now, just to kind of clarify and end this video, if we wick above on Sunday and come pre-market during London, you see that attempt to bounce once you get to the charts Monday morning, and we have failed to take out that sweep above 18,000, let's call it 18,900, and we are trending down, be careful shorting. In that particular situation, what I would do is you've missed the move, right? Either you were a part of the London move or you didn't. You missed the move. Allow it to come down into this range, test, and then bounce. If we see that hold, this is where you're going to want to get long through this consolidation for the retest of 18,900 and the break and the full send into that daily 20 SMA of around 19,285. Again, that's going to be retesting Wednesday's highs. Guys, I'm doing something real cool where I'm doing a 30-day boot camp. Every Monday and Friday, we're going to be live trading where I'm going to screen share the analysis in real time. You're going to be able to jump on the phone, on the computer, on the PC, on your microphone, however you operate things, and be able to communicate with myself versus just being able to, have to write everything out in text. We'll be able to talk in real time. We're going to trade in real time. I'm going to go over my thought process in real time. We're going to do a pre-market show where 30 minutes before the market opens, I'm going to go over these levels and kind of see exactly if there's any trades off the open. And then we're going to trade for about 2 to 3 hours after New York session opens, and we are going to trade into that lunch hour. If that interests you, again, that link is down in the description box below. I will add a Wednesday, so it'll be Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Once we fill the classroom up, I'm looking for 15 traders. Right now we're at 3. So as soon as we get to 15 traders that are going to be involved in that 30-day boot camp, we will move to 3 days. As of right now, we're going to start off Mondays and Fridays, kind of start off the week, and then we're going to recap the week. So again, I think it's going to be really, really cool. If you guys need evaluation accounts, you can use code DAnthony at Apex, use code DAnthony at daytraders.com. You guys can also use my link for top 1 futures. That link is down in the description box below. I'll see all of you guys on the next one.